Hello, everybody. This is St. Charles. It is Saturday, the 9th of August, 2025. I'm just going to start with something a little bit different today. I'm just going to talk about the defense industry. And here we've got an article which is originally a Bloomberg article, but I've got it through Luxembourg Times because it's free. Just go to look down here. I mean, it talks about the credit market and how excited they are about this, the amount of spend that the Europeans are going to be making into military and all the budgets, etc. But there's some really fascinating bits throughout this article, which I'll share in the comments below afterwards. So look here. So we got here there are few investing booms in the world right now that are bigger than the rush to tap into Europe's military buildup. And whilst the stock market, with its wild 102% rallies in defense companies, may get the headlines, and it talks about the credit markets. Now, I mean, this is for big caps. Imagine what's going to happen in the small cap arena. We're not going to get 100 and 200% swings. We're going to get 10 baggers, 20 baggers. This is like, oh, this is exciting. And then this company here, which I'll let you do the research on that one. You can Google it. That's the name of it, however you pronounce that. It's a supplier to Ukraine war. And they've just raised a lot of money. But if you have a look at their earnings for the last 6 months are less than 80 million. I mean, when you convert it to Great British pound, it's less than 80 million. So what we're talking there is, say, if you double it, so that's 160 million. I don't know what this deal is, so let's double it again. We call it 300 million. And they're talking about an IPO with a valuation of 30 billion or more. I mean, 30 billion or more. So that's 100 times its earnings. I mean, 100 times. This is big cap business. I mean, what's a small cap going to be worth? How much they're talking? And for fine, that's saying the overall potential in the sector is huge. With Carlyle estimating the European spending of as much as 14 trillion euros on defence and related infrastructure over the next decade. That's 14 trillion, or that's 14,000 billions. That's nearly 4 billion euros each day, every day for the next 10 years. There's massive amount of money. It's just insane. I'll share this article. It's well worth reading. And then if I just say share something else, the Ministry of Defence, this is from the UK, Ministry of Defence has confirmed it will spend over 4 billion on uncrewed and autonomous military systems during its Parliament as part of a major shift in how the UK armed forces fights future wars, blah, blah, blah. There's £1 billion. There's £5 billion in total funding, which £1 billion is going towards some laser technology for ships, I believe, something like that. But the Defence Investment Plan, due out later this year, is expected to clarify the procurement timelines, quantities, integration strategies of these systems. While the exact platforms not been confirmed, the fund is expected to support programs such as uncrewed aerial vehicles, underwater gliders, robotic ground vehicles, blah, blah, blah. But interestingly, this was actually originally talked about back in June, I think 2nd of June. And they met with lots of industry professionals. You have to do some research here. I'll probably share the articles in one of the links below. This is going to be big business. It's just getting started. But interestingly, ALRT was set up just days before that meeting. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? And on this SBS, a Special Boat Service, a guy is on board. I don't want to sort of make assumptions here, but it's worth doing some research and having a dig into it. So I'll just stop that. I'll share those articles later. But I think this defense business is going to be really big. So anyway, I'm going to start with ALRT ALRT. I will call it ALRT. Defense Holdings PLC. I know covered off during the week, but for me, I've sort of changed my what I think's happening here, but I think we're nearly on a breakout of that downtrend. I think sort of close above sort of 0.4 pence. I think we're off to the races, and then break and hold above sort of 0.72. I think we're going to be heading to this red box here, which will give us sort of a minimum 1.115 up to 1.335. But if they drop some really good news, this could absolutely rocket. I've got then another 1.615 And who knows, it could go even higher than that. And the sky's the limit. There's nothing to hold that back at all. So, it's an interesting one. And it is actually really the only 100% pure play uh, warfare type technology. I think they're specializing in the software for it. I'd say this is potentially really big. It's got some big hitting guys on board. It's well worth doing some research to find out what it's all about. But if over the next decade we're talking nearly 4 billion euros just in Europe being spent on defense, there's going to be some crazy money floating around, and I'd imagine there's going to be a lot more of these type companies being set up. Once this is like the SWC. When that first came about. So it's going to be really interesting. Looking forward to see what happens with that one. Next one I'm going to do is Matt D is my next one. And if I just get that up and where we are here. So this one here, yeah, it's in an accumulation zone down here. I've got a blue box reversal zone down here at 0.896. For me, I think the first point of call there really is that gap fill at 1.05, but I'm sort of hopeful that this should target this red box zone here at 1.345 up to 1.535 pence. That's Matt D. It looks pretty good. Just need to come out with some decent news, don't they? 80 dot. I have no idea what this one is. It's a chart request. These are all chart requests, actually. And this one here, I've done a little bit different today. But, I've got a blue box reversal zone down here at 233 pence. However, it could sort of rebound off this 0.76 fib at 313.5. So that might not come into play. One you really need to do some research on. I think it's a really big cap, so it's not really up my street. But that's the 2 points to call. I think we've got two major support there, 314, and then if that fails to hold, we're down into this blue box area here. Next, we're going to do is WSBN. I haven't covered this one off for a little while. I gave that as a reversal zone back in my Telegram group at 0.416 down to 0.326. It's sort of gone back into the blue box there. Hopefully, you don't really see a fall below that 0.32 level, ideally. They won't make a massive difference, probably, but it is a bit of a binary play. I think it's just waiting for some results. But if it can go up, break above break and hold above sort of 0.7 zone, it should breeze up to 0.875 up to 1.05 pence. That's WSBN. Next we're going to do is Met1, and this one has been talked about quite a lot on Twitter or X this week. It was funded. I think the funding was at 3p, which it hasn't gone down there, which is a good sign. That's really good. But I've got a blue box reversal zone there at 4.233, which is sort of tagged. So that's a good sign. It's sort of making its way up. But for me, I think the realistic target there is 13.858 up to 16.456. But obviously, it's been an horrendous decline, hasn't it? And, it could drop further back into that blue box. That's my only worry with that one. But, one that you need to do some research on because it's fallen from massive levels, isn't it? But worth doing some research on that one. EOG is my next one, and just get that one up. Let's have a look. I haven't got a blue box reversal zone here. It's a bit too early, I think, for me to give a sort of target. But, if we could get a rebound there and sort of a break on a hold above sort of 0.97, I don't see why you couldn't see trading into 1.3 to 1.45 pence. Just flip back to the daily. It's only done one wave. I don't think that moves over. Hopefully you're going to get another push to the upside. But for me, a bit of a tricky one. And low time frames, it's much higher risk play. I mean, I'm not saying the stocks are higher risk play. It's just smaller time frames are higher risk for trading. There you go. Next one I'm going to do is THRU. And this one, another chart request. It's for me, obviously, that was a blue box reversal zone, which kind of worked out, hasn't it? But breaking a hold above sort of 2 pence should give you 2.48 to 2.88 pence. There is still, of course, that gap play up there at 6.15 pence, but I don't think it's going to go there in a straight line if it ever gets there, of course. But for me, that would be the obvious point: is the first get to that red box and then reassess the situation from there. PO is my next one. Haven't done this one for ages. And that was that blue box reversal zone down here, 12.7 down to 11.3. I wasn't too keen on the fact it broke that low there, but, it is what it is. If it can keep this momentum going and it can get the balls behind it, my target there would be break and hold above sort of 23 pence, should get you 27.2 to 31.5. Of course, there's always this lower red box zone down here at 7.34, which is a possibility, but I don't think that's going to come into play. So I don't know much about it, but you need to do your research to find out what sort of news is going to drive that higher and or possibly lower, of course. So that's POW. TRP is my next one, and just get that one up. This one here, we gave that blue box reversal zone down there at 0.0292 to answer to 0.0212 back in sort of January, didn't we? Which is another great call. You have to wait with some of these, don't you? But yeah, it's invested for you. And yeah, for me, we need to break and hold above sort of 0.05 pence, and that should bring us up to 0.0684 to 0.0811 pence. So that's TRP looking okay, isn't it? Fres is my next one, and another chart request. In fact, most of these are chart requests. And you know, that was on my daily chart. I had that red box zone target there, which absolutely smashed it, didn't it? But you know, if I flip over to the weekly target, which I don't know whether I gave this or not, but you know, it smashed this all-time high. It's gone through that, and so the weekly target is now in place. So that for me is heading up to 2090, up to 2548. Well done to those who took that trade and held. It's been absolutely fantastic, and that move isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. Hock is my next one, and just get that one up. And this one here, I had that blue box reversal zone down there back in sort of February, I think. And you know, that was correct. And we've gone into this blue box zone up here. I'm not saying this move is over. I think it's you know, we might get a final push probably up to sort of 360 level, something like that. But Hock looking okay, isn't it? You know, if it can keep going, yeah, that'd be very nice indeed. Don't know anything about it, but you know, it needs to do some research. THX is my next one, and just get that one up. And I'm not going to go to the UK listing. In fact, I'll just go to the UK listing. But because there's much more trading data over on the TSX, I'm going to jump over to that one. You know, this one here, I think that, you know, this move isn't done. I think there's more upside. So for me, you know, that's sort of 0.86 on the TSX and probably even higher. Who knows? Because the gold's over. So there's probably more upside in that one. So worth doing some research. But, you know, obviously the lows would... the way should be loaded up. Yeah, very good indeed. TH, well done for those who took the trade. EME is my next one. And let's just take that one. It's a bit of a difficult one. Have I got a target on there? Yeah, so just drop down to the 4 hourly. So there we go. We sort of had wave one, and then I've got a blue box reversal zone down there at 0.0796, which it did. It bounced to the upside. You know, break and hold above sort of 0.14 area, and that should bring us up to this red box zone up here. So it should go hopefully up to there, and that would be 0.218 up to 2.57. So that is EME. Next one I'm going to do is EPP, and what a turnaround story on that one. I mean, it's been the most horrific downtrend, hasn't it, for whatever reason. I keep drawing a trend line on that. I keep changing my mind, but I'm not really a big fan of trend lines. But, you know, I've sort of decided here that it's sort of broken out, it's retested it, and now it's zooming up, isn't it? So that looks really good setup. Obviously, it needs to break and hold above that 11.75 level. If it breaks that, it should bring us up to this red box zone here, which is anything from 14.05. That should be the minimum. If once it's broken that target, up to 16.9, and then if you can keep the wind behind it, 20.5 pence, and maybe even higher. Who knows? So EPP, absolutely well done to those who took that trade. And we had that blue box, didn't we? There, so that was 3.91. We pretty much called the bottom on that one, didn't we? So another good call from us. Next, we're going to do CTAI, and just get that one up. And this one here, I've got a blue box reversal zone down there at 0.25, which so far has proved correct. You know, there's not a lot for me to say on that one. It's a bit of a difficult one to call. You know, if it can keep, you know, go up and break that 0.83 high, it'll bring us into this red box zone here at 1p up to 1.22. There you go. I can't say much more than that one on that one. AXL is my next one. And this one here, I had that blue box reversal zone, which 70.3, down to 14.35, which was correct call. We went all the way up to 22.7. Unfortunately, it's fallen all the way back down. Hopefully, that's going to hold in that blue box there. So anything from 17.3 it's down to 14.35. I'm still expecting another leg to the upside, but it needs to break and hold above that 33.6, and it should go up to 40.8, up to 48.1. And if I just go to crude light futures and just have a look there, it'll probably give you a bit of a better idea. I'm still, I think that oil overall is going to come down in price, but I think we're going to float between sort of 55 and sort of $70. So I think short term we're coming down to this. We're probably going to hit tag of this sort of 54.27 in the longer term or medium term. But short term, I think we're going to be back into sort of $60, something around then. So that's worth bearing in mind. XTAO is going to be my next one. Or it might be my last one. Yeah, I mean, as somebody put this on X, so I just thought I'd just say, I think that's 1.19 down to 0.98 is where I think they should be loading up for that one. Have I got a target? No, I don't. But if it can break and hold above sort of 2 pence level, probably give you a sort of 2.5, something like that. I'd maybe even higher actually, because there's nothing really to restrict that one. But we'll have a look at that one as it goes along. That's me for this Saturday. Have a great weekend.